I've been getting a lot of questions about my hammer conversion kit, so I thought I would just address some of those questions today. So what I have is a hammer 1275 conversion. It's pretty much the vanilla conversion, which means I just did the jugs, the pistons on there. My heads are stock. The only other thing I had to do was upgrade the clutch spring to a stronger one to handle the extra torque and horsepower. So a lot of the questions are, you know, how fast is it, or what does it feel like? It's really hard to reference speed and torque and feel on video. So, and you know, I really don't know how to do that and have it come across as something you could actually, that's tangible. Let's go over some specs. So the stock 883 is about 53 pounds of torque and, you know, 45 or so horsepower stock. With this kit that I put on, like I said, I had the stock heads, I generated about 80 horsepower and about 80 pounds of torque. So I almost doubled my horsepower and added, you know, 27 pounds of torque, somewhere right around in there. So yeah, it's something you can definitely feel. It is a night and day difference when you're on the bike. If you have the opportunity or a means, go ride a 1200, go ride the 48. The 48 has 78 pounds of torque. So the torque is very close to what I'm dealing with on this bike now, but it's geared a little differently, so the iron is a little quicker out of the hole. But the 48 on highway is a little bit better because it does have different gearing, but the RPMs are a little lower at, say, 70-75 miles an hour. I have no trouble at all on the expressway with this bike. At 70-75 miles an hour, I can turn the throttle and not lift the front end off the ground, but the front end jumps up. Where before, if I did that, you had nothing. You would twist the throttle and you would definitely go faster, but it took a while to do it. Now at 75, if I turn the throttle, I'm getting there pretty quick. It is something you can feel in the seat of your pants. It is a night and day difference, without a doubt. Installation. Is it hard? It's not easy, but it's definitely doable. If you have a Harley service manual and you can follow instructions and you have a decent set of tools, it is very doable. It looks a lot more intimidating than it actually is. When I originally did this and I had the top end pulled off, I will throw a picture up of what it looked like right now. I said to myself, mistakes were made. I was a little nervous about getting everything back together, but it went together very smoothly and easily. I just followed the directions to a T, torqued everything down to the proper specs, and, you know, 2 or 3 hours later, I was back together, ready to hit the start button. Now, I'm not going to lie, I had a high sphincter factor of hitting that start button for the first time, because if something was wrong and you made a mistake, you're going to know instantly, and usually it's with some damage. But started right up, did the heat cycles, and it runs like a beast. If you do decide to do this kit and you're going to install it yourself, you will need a couple of specialty tools. One is going to be a clutch spring compression tool, which Hammer can supply for you. That is an absolute must. That clutch spring is some tough stuff, and if you don't have this tool, I'd imagine it can be done, but it's going to be really hard. This makes it a pretty simple process. The other specialty tool I got was a wrist pin puller. Basically, the wrist pin is the sleeve that holds the piston onto the crank rod, and it just makes it easier to get off. You don't necessarily need it, but you don't want to be banging around on that wrist pin trying to get it out with a hammer and a punch, because there's a lot of bearings and a lot of things going on those crank rods that you know, it's just not good. So the wrist pin puller makes it an easy process to get those pistons off, and it was a fairly inexpensive tool, and now I got it. I'll probably never use it again, but I do have it. To install the kit, it's not difficult. it looks difficult, but it's really not. Hammer gives you an awesome set of instructions with it, and if you use the service manual as a companion, it really is a pretty painless and actually fun process. I really enjoyed it. The other part that's a little tricky, that's kind of a pain in the ass, is the tune. So I had an FP3. Hammer recommended the Dynavision, and the reason being is you can email them your map, and they will do all the necessary adjustments for you, all the values, email it back, and you flash it, you're done, run a few auto tunes, you're good to go. Well, with the FP3, that's not an available option. So what they do is they email you all the values that you need to plug in into your existing map, and it's a lot of numbers. And with an FP3, you have to use your phone or a tablet, so it's a very time-consuming and mistake-prone process. So I gave it a shot. It was taking me the edge. I almost came to the point of just buying a new tuner from Hammer to make it easy, but I called Vance and Hines, told them the situation, so I emailed them the specs that Hammer sent me, and they plugged all the information in for me and shot the map right back to my FP3, and I was able to flash it. So problem was solved there, but that was probably the most painstaking and aggravating part of the whole process. And as far as quality goes, guys, the Hammer stuff is second to none. It is really nice stuff, real high quality. These guys do a great job, and like I said, their customer service is top notch. So just to recap, speed, is it a difference? Yes, you can really feel it in the seat of your pants. It is a night and day difference. Install, not easy, but definitely doable. Like I said, if you have a decent set of tools, you know your way around them, have a service manual and some patience, you can get this done yourself. And also, I opted for their kind of pre-install. I think it was like $50 or $75. So basically what they do is they pre-gap all your rings on your pistons, they clean the cylinders, and they go ahead and pre-install the pistons in the cylinders. But they do all that for you. It's like $50 or $75, which really makes install a breeze. I highly recommend that if you guys are thinking about this kit. If you guys have any more questions, please leave them in the comments below. I will do my best to answer them for you. I appreciate you guys listening to me ramble on this subject a little bit. If you enjoyed the video and if it answered some questions for you, please hit that like button for me. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And also, if you haven't checked out my maintenance series, go over there and check those videos out. I'm doing a whole series on maintaining the iron, and I'm sure you can get some useful information out of those videos. But other than that, guys, that's going to do it for me today. So ride safe and be careful out there, and I will see you later.